they start the show again. They've just said, now, it, we're not even going to bother getting into action like they used to start the show when they had competition with the match already started. Now they open up, the announcers talk, they do graphics and match billboards forever. They do a package on the pay-per-view. They go to the back for a videotape of Adam Page screaming that he's going to ruin Samoa Joe's life while he's being checked out by the doctor who clearly did not go to the Strasbourg school. Okay, Hangman, we need you to calm down. Hangman, calm down. And then we go into the opening match for the World Six-Man Tag Team title. Samoa Joe, Hobbs, and Shibata against Lashley, Shelton, and MVP, the Hurt Syndicate. Their top heel, their new top heel, who they desperately need, who's doing a tremendous job as always, is defending meaningless belts with a partner who Hobbs needs to be with Joe. And he makes a package there. And Shapoopy is useless, and they need to turn on him and send him to the forest or something.
Take his brain out.
There you go.
And then put it back in.
I don't think he needs it back. He's not using it. But so Joe is he's a six-man champion. They need to forget that quickly. Concentrate on what they're doing with Joe and the title. Hobbs needs to be Joe's henchman. Shapoopy is extraneous. And they booked Joe against the only guys on the roster that he can't bully and outmuscle to get heat and be a bully. Because Lashley's bigger than he is. Shelton is pretty good size on his own. And the point is, it's not that they can't work together and have a match. It's if you've just switched this guy heel, give him some goddamn cannon fodder to feed on. But all of a sudden, MVP is going for a wrestling title. Why? Because they manufactured some reason last week or on Collision or whatever. But in the overall scheme of things, MVP is a manager that if they'd have been smart when they were constructing this angle with Ricochet and his stooges, they could have got some money out of MVP against Ricochet in a single match on pay-per-view. Or even MVP doing something in a wrestling fashion could have been a destination rather than, okay, this week it's a tag match, then it's a six-man, but the other guys won, so this time we're going to win. It's been back and forth. And now again, they're going to have a okay match here. But no, Hobbs is in the ring with the only guy in the company that makes him look small, Bobby Lashley. And while Hobbs against Shelton was good, they had a nice pace, they were serious. Lashley against Joe was good. Old Shapoopy is just mechanical, bland-faced, no reaction, gets in the way. Why is MVP wrestling for a wrestling championship when he's part-time wrestler? Joe is a super heel. These are all my observations. And then finally, they got into things. They had tags to Lashley and Shapoopy, and Lashley just killed him. And then they got a little bit with Lashley and Hobbs, where Lashley tried the hurt lock, but they double clotheslined each other. Both went down. And then MVP got to shine there at the end with his baller elbow instead of the people's elbow or whatever. But they did some back and forth shit before MVP was about to do something, but Ricochet came out and distracted him, and Joe got the clutch, and MVP tapped. So it was a nice match until the cheap interference kind of thing, that boom, but they do that everywhere. It was a serious match. It was unusual in that there was no furniture, there's no goofiness. Most everything was in the ring. But again, people like the Hurt Syndicate as baby faces. They're losing as much as they win. And if they were setting up an angle to continue with these three, that might not be bad, but Joe is challenging Adam Page for the fucking championship, and that's the issue they've just created. So what sense did this make is what the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Well, for some of those reasons, I thought they were definitely going to do a title change here. It would make sense. Hurt Syndicate need a win. For all the people that complain that they weren't losing, they're losing too much. And it's hurting them. It's hurting the Hurts.
Well, but imagine, but if they won here, then Joe is on the losing side of again.
You pinned Shibata. You pinned the man had his brain taken out of his head and returned to sender. You beat Shibata.
Address unknown.
You beat Shibata. You freed Joe and Hobbs. I mean, it's wishful thinking saying free him of Shibata, but they don't.
He's still on the losing side of the thing. Just have Joe and Hobbs beat the shit out of Shapoopy and don't ever talk about 6-man title again, because who gives a shit anyway? There's 100,000 belts. There's girls with 12 belts in the company. What do belts fucking mean? Then Joe got the microphone and cut a fucking heel promo that was, again, the best one on anybody's TV in the past few months. It was better and not as long as some of MJF's have been lately, because MJF's just stuck doing the same thing over and over because he has nothing to work with. And this is different. Joe comes off with an aura. And he said, Adam Page may think this is just some cowboy shit, but I'm going to make Adam Page my bitch, or Adam Pitch my beige. And you believe him. He's a fucking talent. He looks like he is supposed to look and talks like he's supposed to talk. But he's one of the 6-man champions. Anywho,